Yeah, I mean, it was obvious the way we won the game. It was defense. And, that's a team that scored 52 points in the first half against us last year. We held them to 52. And we were really locked in. I thought it started on Friday in practice. Guys were really focused in the scouting report and the shoot-arounds, the practices. And it's because they got a lot of respect for Marshall, their style, their scheme, their players, their coaches. And they're a difficult team to stop. And, it was a good defensive effort to be able to do that. And offense was up and down. We got a little sideways there and didn't do some things we were supposed to do. But I think we settled in the second half, and the defense stayed, and the offense got a little bit better.
I know you just spoke about defense and holding them to just 52 points. What did you see differently in the second half on defense than you did from your guys in the first half?
Our defense was the same both halves. Our defense was consistent all the way through, and I know Kerfman got loose there towards the end and made some shots, number 11. But, for 36, 37 minutes, it was at a high level.
And what is your initial reaction to Xavier Brown's first start? Mike still played good. He had 5 assists, I think, before fouling out. Mm-hmm. What are your just initial thoughts about that?
Yeah, I thought we had really good guard play. I thought X played really well, especially on the defensive end. I know he made a 3 there and had some things, but his defensive energy was great. I thought Mike Green gave us some tremendous passes. I mean, he gave guys two wide open layups that were really important as 5 assists. And Brian Randleman, I thought, gave us great minutes as well. So sometimes those guys play together and sometimes it's different. But I thought we got great production all 3 of them tonight.
You talked about the defense. And when you play a team like this that will shoot it basically from anywhere and can make it basically from anywhere, how do you prepare for that? How do the guys kind of get used to somebody that does something so differently?
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard prep in one day. I mean, you can't simulate and practice how fast they get into actions and how quickly they'll screen and roll and lob it and shoot threes and everything else they do. But we did a lot of film work, and really one thing we did, we watched a lot of film of our game here last year and some things that we did not do well. And with some of the same guys that played or some of the different guys, and that helped. It was a lot of film work, and then we got on the court. The guys got really focused, and it is because they know how good they are. As coaches, we didn't have to sell, hey, Marshall's really tough to stop. They already knew, and they had a lot of effort on the defensive end.
Coach, tonight Jalen Carey off the bench made an incredible impact for you all with his hands on the defensive end, with his tough interior finishes. I believe he had 2 and 1s. Can you speak to that depth at the big man position that you have this year, maybe a little bit differently in comparison to past years? Yeah,
I thought Jalen gave us a boost on the offensive end, and defense he was very solid. And sometimes it's not making mistakes, and I thought he was locked in on defense. And the offensive finishes were important finishes. Our guys were driving in, making plays, and he was getting fouled and going up and finishing through contact, and those were big in those situations. Offense was tough to come by today, and for him to get those points, we really need him today.
Tonight as well, Terrence Edwards didn't start off shooting the best, however, finished the game incredibly efficiently. I believe in the second half he was shooting north of 50%. Can you speak to his perseverance and how he's been able to kind of put the last shot behind him to be a scorer, not only in the first half, second half, but also whenever you need him?
Yeah, I love the fact that Fat Edwards was able to come back from him not playing his best. And he gets frustrated, and he was down on himself. He's hard on himself. But him a year or two ago probably wouldn't have got out of it. And, it would not have been able to do what he did in the second half. The second half, he was very sharp. And, whether it was passing, scoring, everything else. And I love growth. And he's grown as a person, much as a basketball player. But that was a character second half for him. That things were bad in the first half. And he figured it out in the second half on how to bounce back.
You're talking about Jim, but I feel like this is the last 2-3 games now where Bryant Randleman, he's really giving you guys a lift off the bench. What does he kind of bring, and what have you seen out of him during these last few games? Yeah,
Bryant Randleman's steal dunk was huge. And, we were a little bit a mess on offense, and for him to get this steal and get us some points, where the defense wasn't set up was a big play. And then, he's very smart. He can guard. He's a big guard. And, we're trying to find more minutes for him because I think he's valuable, and I can see it changing for him. When he's on the court, he does good things. And, we know that. And our team knows that. And sometimes he's out there, and we're like, hey, we got to keep him out there because we're playing too well. And that's what it is some guys come off the bench, and they're very productive like he was tonight, and Jalen Carey was tonight. And everybody's valuable on this team, and they've shown it at different times.